Coach, are you there now?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, we got rid of the music. I don't know who was playing music down at Guntersville or wherever we were getting the music, but we're glad to have you on tonight. Congratulations on the big win tonight. Back-to-back years beating a very good football team in the Fort Payne Wildcats.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Elmore and his staff, and we had been preaching to our players all week that Fort Payne's not a team that's going to give you anything. You're going to have to beat them, and man, it took us playing hard for 4 quarters to get that win.
Coach, it was great to start the game off with a 99-yard kickoff return to go up 7-0 real quickly there. That had to give you a spark there at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it really did. You know, Fort Payne's got a great kicker, and he's committed to Mississippi State, and we'd seen him kick off sometimes out of the back of the end zone and even through the upright. So I think he might have got under it a little bit, and Camp caught it at the 1, and our guys did a great job setting that wedge, and he hit it hard. And so against a team like Fort Payne, to get that first score was really big.
Coach, I want you to brag a little bit on your quarterback, Street Smith. The senior had an outstanding game last week. He was almost perfect, passing 11 for 12. I understand he had a pretty good night for you tonight. He's a leader on offense for you.
Yeah, he really is. He threw a couple touchdown passes to Dadrian Waller, and he ran the ball hard as well. And, you know, Street's kind of a throwback guy. I bet he probably played over half the snaps at outside linebacker as well. And, you know, back in the 90s when I started coaching at Guntersville, that wasn't that big a deal. But now you don't see many quarterbacks playing defense like Street does.
Well, Coach Reese, I want you to talk about that defense. Last week, only 14 points to Southside. You limited Fort Payne to 10 points tonight. It sounds like your defense is off to a great start here in 2025.
Yeah, we we held Fort Payne scoreless in the second half, and, man, they had a great plan, and they were doing a really good job of mixing up the run and the pass. And they came out the second half. We had to kick off to them, and they kept it the majority of the quarter and got down on our goal line. And then Kalen Cobb made a big hit, caused a fumble right about at the goal line. And, then we did a better job stopping the run, and Oliver and Hammond both had interceptions. So I thought that was really big to force 3 turnovers, and that definitely went a long way into holding Fort Payne scoreless.
Well, Coach Reese, I think you kind of sort of mirror Fort Payne. Had some key losses on the offensive side of the football. So it looks like both teams are kind of sort of depending heavily on the defensive side of the ball, kind of until the offense kind of sort of finds itself. Is that the way it's gone so far?
You know, we did lose some great players, lost those 2 Division I running backs and a couple more really big-time receivers. So I feel like we are a different team. We've probably got more balance than we did last year, and we know that it's going to take, I think we start 5 guys both ways, which is something we hadn't had to do in a long time. So it truly takes us playing well on both sides of the ball to be successful.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, Coach, talk about the atmosphere tonight. This is the kind of game for a young team that's kind of trying to find its way and kind of sort of, kind of find its identity. Big crowd, huge atmosphere, a playoff-type atmosphere. A win like this goes a long way.
Yeah, it does, especially, because we are playing some new guys and Street's having to get the ball to different players. And we've got a lot of confidence in these young receivers as well. But, we opened up with Geraldine, who's a team that's really been going deep in the playoffs. Then we had Southside last week, 6A team that finished second in the region. And then Fort Payne won that region last year, and they beat Scottsboro last week and got that trophy, and I think they had their 600th win. So we knew the way the schedule set out that this was going to be a really tough 3-game stretch to get things going, and certainly we're thrilled to be 2-0 at this point.
Coach, 2-0, as you said, headed into region play next week, and you open region play with the Brewer Patriots next week.
Yeah, we've got to go on the road, and, we are 2-0, but we still see some areas that we need to improve on. And like we told the players, we feel like if we can play our best, we're going to have a chance to win. So that's going to be our focus going forward this next week, is really looking at our film and trying to correct those mistakes and just be the best team we can be against Brewer.
Well, Coach, so one of the interesting things, and you may know this, may not, the last time that Fort Payne, I think, played at Guntersville was 1998, and Coach Jerry Elmore was actually the coach on the sideline. You were probably there that night coaching against Coach Elmore when you were assistant coach, and then Coach Chris Elmore comes tonight to play Guntersville. I thought that was a pretty neat little nugget for the game tonight.
Yeah, I was an assistant back then, and Jerry Elmore is somebody. He was actually an assistant at Coleman, or he was the head coach at Coleman. He didn't coach me, but when I was in junior high, he was the head coach. So I've known Coach Elmore for a long time. I got to visit with him this summer a little bit, and I've got got a lot of respect for him and Chris, and kind of the reputation they've got and the tradition they've got at Fort Payne. Definitely something to be proud of. That's why a win like this means even more.
Well, Coach, I don't know about scheduling in the future, but that's a great matchup. It's a great matchup for fans. It's a great matchup of football between Guntersville and Fort Payne. And thanks for calling us tonight, and congratulations on the win over Fort Payne this evening.
Thank you very much.
That's Coach Lance Reese of the Guntersville Wildcats. The Wildcats feel off to a great start, 2-0. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Oh no, definitely so. I think we was, thought they had a pretty good shot against Southside. But this is kind of a measuring stick game against Fort Payne. Everybody asked me about this game. I said, I'm going to tell you something. It's kind of like the Scottsboro-Fort Payne game. It's dead even. It's who makes the least mistakes is going to win this game. Of course, the big factor, I said, now playing at Chorba Lee's tough because it's a great atmosphere. So it's one of the toughest places to win, and that could be the difference in the game. Was it? We don't know. For sure we weren't there, but, a great football game. Fort Payne's played in 2 classics the first 2 weeks of the season.